Yo, it's your boy Felipe.
And make it so low.
PIF.
Paid in full, yeah.
Yeah, stay hooked onto Nouvelle Live.
Hi, what's up, people? This is Angie, the Royal Highness, and you're listening to Nouvelle Live.
Hey, yo, you're now listening to Hip Hop Uganda Live. With your boy truly, Sean. Home for Ugandan hip hop, hosted by yours truly, Sean.
Hey yo, what's up? It's your boy Anonymous, G2 Complex, most official, and you're listening to Hip Hop Uganda on Nouvelle Live.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Ajo, and you're listening to Nouvelle Live podcast, Hip Hop All Day, Hip Hop Uganda, hosted by your main man, Nouvelle Sean. You can also catch him on nouvellelive.org. That's nouvellelive.org. So what's up? Catch us right here. Get it.
You're now listening to another episode of the Nouvelle Live podcast, Hip Hop Uganda Live, hosted by Sean.
What's up, people? Welcome to the Nouvelle Live podcast. I'm Sean, your host. This is episode 19. Now, last week we had Ajo, and he had a number of things he was talking about. Yeah, we shared a good time. He mentioned Transcend. The video will be out 18th, that is tomorrow. Well, I'm Sean, your host, and today on the show we do have a special one. FMC, I hope you're not offended by me referring to you as FMC. Tushi Polo told me she feels that is not right, like she would rather be called an MC, just like anyone else. Anyway, this show is powered by IM Records, Visuals, and Studio, and it's also powered by G2 Complex. Yes, if you do want film scripts written for you, audio production, mixing and mastering, you can get all that from G2 Complex. You can visit g2complex.com, and also you can visit IM Records /Visuals on your favorite social media. And then another sponsor for this podcast is the Fees Word. Now, this is the part where I have to introduce the guest. But before that, Shirley, do you know the Fees Word?
No, I really don't know.
The Fees Word is THE space FIZZ, that is ZZ for Ugandan, and then Word, WORD. Yeah, it's one of our official sponsors, and they do editing, publishing, helping you with social media, events planning. And if you were at the TPPM event, then you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now, right about now, let me make some money. You can follow me on Twitter at Nouvation. Follow the Fees Word at the Fees Word on Twitter, Facebook, and then follow Nouvelle Live at Nouvelle Live, that is NUVEYLIVE, and then you got us. You can listen to previous podcasts, like we've had Ninja C, we've had Hagai from the Tribe UG, we've had Ajo, and we had Sentinel said before we rebranded to nouvellelive.org, and we had Lyrical G for those who are wondering if this show is just yesterday in the making. But well, you can get all other episodes from nouvellelive.org/podcast, and then try our SoundCloud audio mark. Anyway, enough of the intro. Now, the UG Hip Hop Awards are out, and I must say this second sophomore year is interesting. It should be interesting because I looked at the nominations, and I was quite impressed. Somehow really overwhelmed by certain categories. In good light, actually. I feel like the more years get by, I think the better. If what a naysayer might say, I don't care, because 10 years, 20 years ago, we didn't have any of these platforms, even though some of them might not serve you to the best satisfaction. Well, I've had an issue like that with Umeme the past 4 days, and I do have a track that I penned down to tell them they're not doing us right. But that's off the topic. What I'm trying to say is the more platforms we have, the more engaging we get to these platforms, I think the better. Bayemba has done that so much. Shirley is likely, is it okay if I say a product of that?
Sure.
Yes. And a number of us are a product of our passion and realization to offer a number of things out there. Now, that's the part where I get to introduce. Okay, my chair is messing up, but anyway, don't forget we are recording this podcast right from I Am Records. It's the part where I have to introduce the one and only Tusolako Mwezi.
Abichelo nema spot ngani naba lenzi.
Tusolako Mwezi. You should have put me on that hook or something.
You can still, I think I'll be working on a remix. A couple of guys have been asking me around if I want to do the remix of Tosula Komwezi.
Imagine new version on the remix.
Yeah, imagine a couple of guys.
I know a number of cats out there haven't actually listened to me rap. They think I'm the guy who just does a Nouvella podcast, a camera thingy, like write the articles. Well, I do a bunch of things, man. And it's because of the hunger I had. If you've listened to Dr. Dre's recent album, there's one of the songs, I forget, it says I was once a starving artist and I will never let an artist, I will never let a starving artist starve, or something like that. So the moral of the story is I relate. I remember, I think I've never shared this story with so many people, but when you get the vibes you got to do, like I happened to have had music at that time, had a mixtape, and I had a couple of tracks I wanted to put out, but then I noticed there weren't enough platforms. There was a platform that I believed in but didn't get to serve me right. And I had a bunch of skills I had personally. And this is one thing I learned from Ninja C. She said on episode, I'm forgetting my own show, episode 15, yes. Yeah, true. Last 15. Year. And she said, the more skills, the better for a rapper. Yeah. Well, I say the more skills, the better for hip hop. You know Slick Tech? He's a graphics guy. He does the cover arts for NTM. Nice. Should be surprised. He makes the beats, he raps, and I'm sure he likely DJs. There is who else do I know that does this thing here? There is Curious.
Yes, Curious.
Curious did one of the artworks on Sylvester. We all know the Sylvester I'm referring to, yes, aka Kabombo. One of the t-shirts. Either it's the Chendi or the other. I was following a story like that. So most of the rappers out there think it's about just making the music and putting it there. Back to me, when I noticed there wasn't a platform, I first thought maybe it should be about me, so I should make an online radio and it plays only me. But then I looked at that as something really silly. That of course, when you're starting out to officially record, you would feel like that. But then it came to me and I realized I would start first with my music, which is available to me, and then I keep receiving a number of the music out there. And I remember the first artist I played on the Nouvelle Live radio. That's when we used to do the live shows. But you know your country, data is expensive. So what happened, I played Ajo. He's a close friend of mine. I didn't know him, but through this journalistic stuff I kept on doing, that's how I got to know people and started to do all these things. So there weren't enough platforms, and hip hop, UG Hip Hop Awards are here, and I think I'm the most excited. Though, of course, I'm not paid to endorse another brand. I mean, that's even bullshit. This is hip hop. This it's for the nation.
Yeah.
And 10 years from now, a number of people will be looking for this podcast. They'll be looking for information. They'll be trying to look for Ugandan history, right?
True.
And they wouldn't find it. So we make all these things happen. Now, enough for the talk. And I've said so much. Now, allow me to welcome Shirley May on the show, aka Tusula Kumwezi, grinding on. And recently, I am working with Cleo the Sphinx.
Yeah.
In other words, you know the questions are coming from that direction.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so Shirley, say something about you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Shirley May. I'm a rapper. You know, there's been that argument also a lot. Yeah, I'm in the booth. I'm doing a lot of work. Okay. Yeah, I'm putting in a lot of energy, and I'm hoping for the best. Yeah.
What? Really so soft-spoken and...
Yeah, I'm... Okay. I'm kind of soft-spoken. I'm a person of few words.
But you get mean on the beats.
That is it.
So wait, let's jump into this very quick. So what is Shirley working on right now?
Shirley's working on a lot of work. A lot. I'm trying
You just put out, I think a month ago, the Tusula Kumwezi video.
Yeah, I put a Tusula Kumwezi video.
Yeah, for those who didn't come for the therapeutic purpose of poetry, god damn it, you missed Shirley performing.
Yeah, that was my best performance for Tusula Kumwezi because I was premiering it for the first time.
Damn.
Yeah, that was
Never
the first.
Got you, of course.
It was the first time I was performing Tusula Kumwezi, and you know, I was in the booth. I knew it was going to be very relative to the people.
Yeah.
Given the reactions, the people who were around when I was recording it, the way they were reacting to what they were listening to,
yeah, sure.
I knew it was sellable.
Okay.
But I'd never imagined me stepping out on stage and I'm performing it. I didn't know how people would react to it. And when I see the Makerere students, they were all like, Tusula Kumwezi. All I had to do was chill back and sing for them just the other lines. It was the best. Yeah.
You made you a crowd mover.
Yeah. It was really nice. It gave me a lot of courage.
Well, Nouvelle Live will be having another event like that. Likely next year, because due to lack of sponsors, you know this country.
I know.
Yes, but nonetheless, we were still doing a product testing and all that, and we noticed there was a good reception.
Yeah, the reception was so good.
Every rapper, Painkiller, who else was there? Shirley May, Sylvester.
Yeah, Sylvester was in the building.
Everyone who graced the event, and I think it's true. Likely that was one of your best performances and
strictly hip hop performance
with the reaction to it.
Because it was strictly hip hop. We're doing strictly hip hop. It was the best, I should say.
Does Nouvelle Live do any other thing?
No. Does Nouvelle Live only cover hip hop?
We do cover poetry, spoken word. Seriously,
but it was the best, I should say.
And we do spoken word and poetry because we want to encourage people to be rappers who are poets. That's the moral, because if we let it so open, we wouldn't have so many rappers with substance. So Shirley is working on lots of work. Yeah, Tusula Kumwezi, the video is on Nouvelle Live. You can catch it there and other platforms. Now, following your social media, definitely I got a tip that you're working with Cleo, the Sphinx. Shout outs to Cleo.
Actually, you should say I'm working with Malika.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Malika, the
Sphinx,
I was going to say foundation.
Aggie.
Is it a foundation or an initiative?
I can't tell.
Okay, let's call it an initiative, because when you say foundation, most of the time people are like, no, donate to us. But it's an initiative. I've heard of it. Empowering female artists, especially rappers.
Yeah, true.
Break it down for us.
I'm working with Malika. Yesterday we were in the booth finishing up everything with Agi. She was on missing in the picture. But you should just look out for it. It's gonna be great work.
Okay, so Malika is strictly Agi and Cleo?
So far.
Yeah. I miss the Malika with the Jinsu. Honestly. I don't know. You might give me your personal opinion, but I think that girl is mad talented.
What if I say I choose not to talk about that?
No, I mean, from a listener's perspective.
Yeah, they were great. I should say.
Okay, nonetheless, I'm not trying to stir up any controversy, but so what keeps you focused?
The hunger in me.
The hunger. I was once a starving artist. Yeah, nonetheless, the drive for this thing.
The drive, I have the self-drive, and there's something I'm looking forward to. And I'm not about to tell it to anyone unless I'm footsteps away.
It's like being in...
Right now, I am so far from what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah, until I get there, that's when I will just let the blanket...
It's like a relationship. If you like your partner, you don't have to tell them the reasons why you like them.
No, I can't relate with that because I ain't in any.
Okay, that might take me to a question like that, but not now. What I was trying to say is sometimes it's not nice to put all your eggs in one basket.
True.
Give the fans what they want, and then they should enjoy it the way they would want to. Now, grinding on, that is 2015.
2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Okay, my
man,
bad.
I'm just 2 years. Actually, I'm just here 1 year and a couple of months. I started professionally 2016 in April. So, yeah, I think I'm just like one.
The first work of yours that I got to surface with, I think there's a dude called rapper
Fenrico Luga.
Yeah, that boy pushes material. So he hits me up and tells me, "Hey man, were you in the same year boot camp?"
No, I wasn't.
Okay, but I like the partnership there.
He got to meet me through a friend. He was called Namba Inky.
Okay.
He was a producer here, but he's a South African. So he relocated back home. And I was telling him this time around, I want to hit studio for real. I want to get professional with my music. Yeah. So he tells me, the only person I can get you to is Fenrico Luga. He's one person I think would help you in my absentia. So he hits up Fenrico Luga and says, look out for Shirley May. And he also tells me, look out for Fenrico Luga, and drops me his number. So I call up Fenrico Luga. I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm a friend to Namba Inky, and he says he knows you. He says you can help me, with producer you could take me to. Yeah. I want to do some music. I want to do hip-hop music. And he organizes. He's like, okay, if you're free, just call me up. I will come through. Yeah, that's how I got to meet Fenrico. He takes me to Banya. Banya is a producer. He makes me the beat. He made 3 beats, and I'm like, every beat he played, I was like, nah. He played the second one, nah. He played the third one, I'm like, no, I don't want those. He went back again to the studio. I think after us meeting 3 times, that's when I picked the beat for Grinding On. I'm like, this will do what I want.
Yeah, and then and then the story goes on, and then I'm talking about now post-production after everything has occurred. So I think, I don't remember it must have been July when we used to do the FMC month thing. I think we didn't do that this year. Sorry, but there was a number of things happening here and there. So that's when I get you the work, and I'm like, okay, Shirley May, do I know this person? Surprisingly, how I got in touch is after watching a video. Most of the times is I first listen to audio, then I get to the video part. I think it's a nice marketing strategy because, it's 2017. People need to know who they are listening to.
Yeah.
That was a dope move. Grinding, what were you feeling and thinking at that time? Because you notice grinding to Sula Kumwezis, there is a huge variation.
Grinding On, Okay, basically, I think I had written a couple of tracks, I think about 4, talking about hustle. But, you know, as you interact with people, they can't keep listening to the same theme for a long time. So that's why when I dropped Grinding On, they told me to chill, lay back. I dropped Weekend Party after Grinding On. So the variation between Weekend Party and Tusola Kumwezi is not big. I was just on the same theme. But I have a couple of tracks on Hustle. I have Hustler's Ambition that I'm dropping in October.
Okay, cool.
Still, I'll be going back there.
Let's take a moment. This podcast is brought to you by g2complex.com. The Fizz word, that is THEFIZZ word. It's an editing, script writing firm, events planning, and a number of things you can find out there. And then it's also powered by IM Records and Visuals. And I'm still Sean, your host, and we're hanging with Shirley. Now back to the show. Hip Hop Bootcamp. Which year was that?
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I listened to the whole CD. And I think I must have even told you.
Yeah, you told me
about it.
You told me about it
from a place we might not want to discuss. Anyway, it was just at Alliance Francaise.
Yeah.
It's my French good. And the number of the tracks there, you spit in some French.
Yeah. Some Kumam.
Okay.
Some English.
And
Luganda.
If I ask you a question, which might be hard to answer, what's your favorite track of that volume?
Not being biased?
Not being biased, just like when you think about that whole time.
And I think about the whole time. Gang.
Oh my god, that's like top 3 top 3 tracks like I like of that. What's that guy's name? Dre.
He
gave it.
Dre was on the chorus.
He gave it.
I like Gang, especially when it comes to PCY. PCY, he's from Aroa. Yeah, he was so good on that track. Yeah, I love the chorus.
Not because I speak.
Not because I'm Luo, but then it's relatable though.
There is life to that track.
Yeah, Gang. I love Gang. I love Hip Hop for Life.
Top 3? One of
Hip
my
Hop
top
for
3.
Life. Hip Hop for Life. I like that track too. And of course, Keep It Real.
Yeah, I was waiting for that.
Yeah,
and actually
has
had a number of features.
Yeah.
Definitely. So some people might think, okay, it's about Weekend Party to Sulakumwezi, but there are about 3-4 tracks on the Hip Hop Bootcamp.
Yeah.
Volume 2016. It's volume 3.
Volume 4.
Yeah, volume 4. I think volume 3 is when there was
Fenrico Luga, George
MC Vane,
Big Vane,
that was
Christian. Yeah, a couple of them.
So what do you think of initiatives like those? You know, just giving your personal experience with the Hip Hop Bootcamp, and I understand Bayimba Foundation is having its 10 years anniversary.
Yeah, 10 years anniversary, and I'll be performing too.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's a very good initiative, especially for those who find difficulty in putting out their work. They should look out for such initiatives. First and foremost, it helps you build your network. Not in a biased way, but I don't think I would be stepping on Bayimba platform just a couple of months in my career. There's having the work, but you need the connection too. You need the network. I'll be honest. You wouldn't expect Shirley May performing at Bayimba's 10 years anniversary when she knows no one. She has never worked in any of them.
And she doesn't know Nuve. I'm just saying.
Okay, I wouldn't be in my career if it wasn't for Nuve knowing about Shirley May's work.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so, such initiatives are really good. They help us grow. people should stop underlooking other people's efforts.
Yeah.
To be honest, just because I worked with Bayimba, just because I was in hip hop boot camp, it shouldn't make you look at me like somebody who is weak. It was my work that got me there. They saw potential in me. That's why they got me on that group.
I think there is a vetting process.
Yes, there is a vetting process. Everyone submits in work. But if you don't get taken, you shouldn't lose hope. You can still keep looking out for those guys.
I think I would be more comfortable with a person who is not taken. Reason? He has to work harder 2 times than the person who is taken, right?
No, it is the same. I have been taken because I have worked.
To try again.
Yes, to try again. But then also for me, I'll be on pressure to better myself than how they got me. By the time I was taken for bootcamp, I already had grinding out video.
Oh.
I'd already dropped the video. Actually, I think I dropped the video a week before I was taken.
Sounds like what is in the Bible is true. Those who have shall be given. But we need to give also to those.
Right, also to those who don't have.
Yeah.
So people should appreciate every platform that comes up. If we want to build, if we want to build our culture, our hip hop culture, our brand, we need to work together. If someone comes up with a platform that supports all of us, we shouldn't demean it. Because I've seen many people, you know what I'm talking about.
I do not know.
You do know. Because
I do not know what you're saying.
But you know
what I'm trying to say.
Are you trying
to say that there is a platform that does not include? Because some of the things that hip hop should do, it's to be inclusive.
Yes. Yeah. Uniting.
Yeah.
So,
but let me just say something before you go on. Just hold that thought there. I think sometimes there are reasons why you might not be included. Now, just to speak for Nouvelle Live, I don't know about any other site. We do a submission thingy, especially for someone who is submitting their work for the first time to us. After that, we likely might not even ask you for any submission. But that submission comes with, it's more like a commitment fee to us, or something we can hold you on in case you say we didn't represent you well. First, there are times we might ask you for bio, because we want artists who are well packaged. It's just to motivate you to do more. We could ask you for submission, like cover art and all that material, and then the original track before its quality is messed up, because some people might come to our site and download audio that is not good, and you say it's us who put it out, so you need to be responsible. But after that, we might not get to you, because the submission makes us aware of you, and from that we go ahead to follow the story. Now back to you.
What was I talking about again?
You shouldn't be mad if someone is taken up at a certain initiative.
We should all look out for different initiatives, and those who have the capability of creating more platforms for the hip hop culture, they should do so.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Thumbs up to everyone who's about to create a hip hop blog in Uganda. It's not easy, fam.
I know it ain't.
It's not easy.
It's not really easy.
So, how do you feel right now? You're about to be on the Bayimba stage 10 years down the road. What's the feeling like?
I'm humbled, because at least I'll be in the history of their first 10 years.
Good.
Yeah, I'm so humbled. Shout outs to Sylvester Kabombo. He has hope in me a lot. He always tells me that.
AKA Okuva Bombo or something like that. He's a good guy. Shout outs to him. I'm hoping to have him on our next podcast, actually, to discuss the hip hop bootcamp and other issues related there. So before we do come to the end of the show, so what would you tell particularly any female and young rapper? Because there are a number of people. I think I just wrote a piece on that.
Yeah, looking out to those.
Let me try to quote my own self, and I meant every word I said. The people look at people like Shirley. You have a visual already. You know, we don't know how you get together and put out your work and all that, but there are people looking up to you. People looking up to Cleo. People looking up to Fassi,
Tushi,
Polo, to who else? Lady Slike,
Yala.
MC Yala, almost 7 years plus in.
Don't forget Keiko.
Oh, Keiko as well. No, normally.
I think everyone looks up to her.
No. Normally, people might put out Keiko. Of course, definitely Keiko. For a long time, Keiko, by the way. Because, but it's because of the work.
Yeah, it's work.
The others
it's
did
work.
before.
Yeah.
And then the work she put in. We wouldn't imagine females rapping if it weren't a dislike. In Uganda here, I need to give credit where it's due.
True.
Yeah. That kind of thing. So that people might look up to you. What would you tell them? Any young MC, female rapper, young rapper, and hip hop has the highest subscription rate every year. Lots of kids want to aspire to involve themselves with hip hop. What would you tell them?
I would tell them to work. You have to work.
Write lyrics, that's work.
That's not work. He comes way beyond that.
Like hustle, have a side job.
Yeah, have something. I should say, I thank my dad. Yes, he's the other half of my sponsorship. But before his sponsorship comes through, mine should be already on the table. You get what I'm saying? So, you should have a vision that if I'm stepping into the booth, I have the paper,
translation, money.
Yeah, that I'm going to use to pay to get my audio out of studio.
Yeah, sure.
I know so many of them who have stepped into the booth but can't get their work out, yet they are good.
And one thing that...
Yes, it is hustle.
One thing that is fascinating is, these producers are cool. They let you come in, record your work. And
then they can't let you take it because you don't have the paper. Yet they've given you the hopes that you can make it.
Yeah, they've inspired you a little bit.
That's how they end up being used.
Yeah.
Yeah. So...
Just repeat that again.
That's what brings them to being used.
Yeah, sure. Exploited.
Yeah.
To sound a little bit English.
Okay. Exploited. So, to fight out that, I've heard so many people talking about that producers, managers, blah, 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 end up exploiting them.
Yeah.
And it all gets back to, where do you start from? You want to step into the booth, yes, thank you. You feel you can do this. You love it. But you should have a better way out than ending up down that drain. Yeah, because if we have somewhere to start from, we shall have a good ending.
True.
Some people end up losing their career because they didn't have where to start from.
I tell you one funny short story. The first track I ever recorded, I didn't pay for it.
Nice. That was good for you.
That was in 2011. But of course it was a mixtape kind of track. It was on a Drake beat. There was a friend of mine who believed, like he just wanted me to be in studio and like record stuff. And I'm like, wow. But he's like, anyway, you can write for me like 3-4 lines. But everything I wrote for him, he didn't spit it. So in exchange for my service, I helped him gain the confidence to spit on the same track with me. So he paid up the dues. But then, of course, the time there, I appreciate that time. It was inspiring. But then, when it came to me to making a mixtape, I had to use means that I could access.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I remember that was 2012. No, 2011. I was in first year. So I had a friend whose uncle is a producer. Funny how I don't even remember where that studio is. So she tells, I was a dancer before. I was dancing with extreme media dancers.
Okay.
So we saw much of hip hop. I would stomp those, So she tells me she's doing music. So I'm like, man, that's what I want to do too. So she's like, but my uncle is doing it for me for free. You can come and jump on the track if you want. So we get to studio. I kill my lectures just to reach studio, and she can't even sing. So everything becomes a mess. The uncle starts insulting all of us. I step in the booth and he's like, what are you even doing? I mean, I am spitting bars and he's demeaning me. He's telling me, what am I doing? I don't even sound like a rapper. Shout outs to that guy. I just don't remember your name, but you should look out for me now.
Seriously, shout outs to that guy.
He gave me hope. I didn't sleep when I went back.
You know, Tsula Kumwezi is like a party starter for me. Like, when I'm home, I have that set I put on and...
Yeah,
I'm a fan of it.
It made me not sleep. So I decided to go to... I met up with a couple of friends and I'm like, any studios, just take me somewhere where I can be better than this. So we ended up not recording that track actually. Then a friend takes me to Yego Productions.
Yeah.
I meet up with producer JT. Shout outs to producer JT. He had hope in me, but I don't know what happened. I just stopped hearing from him. I would go to studio, he's not there. Not in a bad way, but he really gave me hope that I can be a rapper. Something I believed in, and he added more hope in me. So we recorded a track that never got out of studio because I could never access him anymore.
Let's first take a break before we get back. This is the Novella Podcast, episode 19. Let's come back from this short commercial break.
You're now listening to another episode of the Novella Podcast for Hip Hop Uganda Live, hosted by Sean.
Welcome back to the Novella Podcast. This is still episode 19 and we are with Shirley May. We're about to wrap up the show. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Novelive. So about JT and them.
Oh, JT, I just don't know. I couldn't access JT anymore. He was rarely in studio, so that added more hunger in me. I mean, I wanted to hear my first work. Yeah, sure. I wanted to hear how I would sound because those are 2 attempts to studio and I don't get to hear the final product. That's when I hit up Number Inky. I'm like, yo, producer Number Inky, I just need to step into a booth. I need to do some work. It gets me to Fenrico Luga. I get to meet Banya Join. Then I get to meet producer King's Loving. Shout outs to King's Loving. We work on grinding on. And I mean, before that, even when I just started penning, Fenrico is like, you're good. And I'm like, okay. I don't know you too well, but I think that is giving me more footsteps
than what I'm doing. Shout out to Fenrico.
Luga.
He's an amazing guy. I was going to say Victory. Yeah, I've listened to his work. I mean, he's pushing so hard. I think he's one of those guys who I meet and they're like, no way. Damn, you're the guy. The first time he saw me, like, seeing me, the whole body, meeting him physically. The world is so techie, as I say. So we used to communicate through email. So when he met me the first time, it's like, whoa, this is the guy. This is Nuve. Well, I get that a lot of the time, so I need to get comfortable with that. But anyway, shout outs to him. So Shirley, you said a number of young artists there need to work.
Yeah, they need to work.
And get the money so they can be able to...
Yes. Let us not look at white collar jobs. Let us try and find means. Do something for yourself.
I did a podcast, I think last year, must have been last year, and I told the episode, I think it's episode 3 if I'm not mistaken, it was about telling rappers to have side hustles.
Yeah.
And I think you relate with that.
I relate with that. Trust me, we need to have side hustles so much. Yes, I did software engineering. Right now, I am working as an accountant.
Whoa, software engineer. That was my dream. Are you guys surprised that I actually do design websites as a side hustle to keep Nuve alive,
That's
going
good.
on? That was my dream. I never went to any school to study
So
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I am now as an accountant just because I need to balance my books. I mean,
Yeah,
I need to step into studio, but how will I get there?
Work and then fuel the
Because the sponsorship I get is not for audios, they're for visuals.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my dad only sponsors my videos. So he will not have a video to shoot if I have no audio to record.
Damn, shout outs to your pops.
Shout outs to my pops,
I
man.
should
He
meet
believed
him.
in me before anybody else.
I should meet him.
Oh, he didn't. By the you should also tell your parents when you want to start this kind of thing before.
But seriously,
Yeah.
a number of kids have issues with their parents.
They can't open up to their parents.
They
That's
don't
what I
want to
was
tell
going
them.
through.
And even when they tell them, they fail to give them the other side B of the picture. Because I think if you tell your parents, Dad, I think I like to sing, but of course I'm going to still be in school. Most kids want to be out of the school. And they will become what Enigma always says, or will always say, because it's already recorded. They don't study, they can barely write a poem. Who killed him?
Let me tell you my story, okay, briefly.
Yeah.
I started by dancing. I would sneak to go and dance.
Shout outs to everyone sticking up. No.
No. That was the wrong thing for me to
Risky
do.
behavior.
Yeah. So, not until one time we were sitting and we were watching TV. We were watching a soccer match. I remember very well. That was a Man U game, and my dad is a Man U fan. So the game goes on well. I think that was the game Man U Arsenal when Man U beat Arsenal 6-0. I think I was so happy. So soccer was done. We had nothing to do. He flips and he's like, okay, MTV Best. And there were these girls. I don't remember what song he was playing, and there were these backup dancers, the girls, and he's like, and I think that's your talent, Shirley. You can do that. You can. And I'm like, no. Did everyone hear what I heard? I turned, looked around, looked at my mom, looked at my sisters, and I'm like, does he mean that? That was the time we were trying to get admissions at MOOC. So I go to MOOC and I see posters, dancers needed. So I get the number and call, and they tell me. I remember it was a Friday and they tell me to go on Saturday for rehearsals.
Oh.
So I tell my dad Saturday morning that, Daddy, I have dance rehearsals, but I have no transport. Oh, you have dance rehearsals? Let me drop you there. So I'm like, this is my luck.
To future fathers and mothers, please support
So my
your
dad
children's
starts
passion.
sponsoring me going for my dance rehearsals. I kept dancing, but I was also a basketball player. Yeah, I was playing with A1 Challenge. So my mom didn't want me to do the dancing. She wanted me to keep the basketball. My dad wanted me to do both. I had school. I had started stepping into studio at the same time. So to make everything even for all of us, I killed everything. First year I was clean. I wasn't doing studio. I wasn't doing ball. I wasn't dancing. So towards end of second sem, that's when I stepped into studio. Now how do I start telling Dad that, you know what, now I've gone back to music. I kept quiet about everything. I didn't share with anyone. Not even my siblings. So not until I recorded Grinding On, then my siblings listened to my work and like, oh, that's nice. But how are you going to tell Dad? So I'm like, I'm not going to tell him. Shout outs to Johnny P, UBC. I had a TV interview with an audio.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Probably the beat.
I went I went with a cousin of mine. He's called Flame Music. He also does music, but he's in the dance hall. So he takes me and they play Grinding On audio.
Oh. Shout out to everyone who's pushed the hip hop
Yeah,
in all
so
means possible.
it was about 1 a.m. and I'm on UBC. I'm not home. So it comes to 3 and I have to come back home, but I didn't tell anyone where I was going. So I come back home and I have the clip of the show. So the next day my brother was watching it on my laptop and my dad happens to see him. I was like, I'm dead. So he's like, oh, you on TV? Because it had the UBC logo. You on TV? When was that? I told him yesterday. How come you didn't tell me you were going on TV? I'm like, I didn't have a way of telling you that I'm doing music now. Really? You're doing music? I'm like, yes. Just 2 weeks, he told me, go shoot the video. If your audio is good enough, go shoot a video. If that's what you want to do, thank you. You gave me my degree. That's what I wanted. You gave me school.
Nuve Live is proud of you. Narratively hip-hop, sonically poetic. Before we wrap up, so Shirley, you feel if I ask, do you think the ground is leveled now?
Not yet.
It's not.
Not yet.
It's not easy to break out there.
Not yet.
Yeah.
We have to be free with ourselves. We have to be free with our families.
And be honest.
And be honest. Tell them the truth. Because trust me, if I told my dad earlier on, I think I would have.
I would tell you one funny thing. There was a kid who hit me up and was sort of like impersonating another rap crew out there. And so, we bloggers, writers, we have really suffered for this hip-hop thing. A number of people think we are not. Of course, there are those who might not be doing what they're meant to do. Mm-hmm. We've really suffered. But to be honest, our platform, I do not know about others. We do our research. Now, if you come with a lot of impersonation, like you're trying to be someone else or you're trying to say you're affiliated to someone else, it's not so hard for me to make calls with these people, because 9 times out of 10 I have contact with these people. So it's not nice.
Yeah, but I think we all face that. We all face that, because I've also been having a couple of callers telling me I have several collabos with Keiko and I want to do a collabo with you too. And I'm like, that is good for you, but right now I'm really not yet working on collabos. I am still looking forward to building that foundation for sure.
Now listen, anyone listening to this, the word is it's the H in hip hop, really. Honesty and be honest.
Yeah, be honest.
So
just say you want to work with me and I will be open to you and tell you either I am free for it or not.
Yeah, Shirley, I'm a big fan of yours. Can I work with you? No. Anyway, where can people find your music?
You can find my music on Howebiz, Shirley May. You can find on AudioMac. You can find on Verb Nation, SoundCloud, Mudundo, MP3 Jaja, just most of the digital stores. I try to upload my music there. Yeah,
sure.
You can follow me on Shirley May Music. That's on Facebook. Shirley May on Facebook. At SA Shirley May on Twitter. And Instagram, it's Shirley May 8080.
Yeah, that said, do you have anyone you want to shout out?
Shout outs to all my fans. Shout outs to everyone who believes in Shirley May. There is being a fan of the music, and there is being a fan who believes in me, who believes in what I do.
Hip hop needs supporters, fans, and believers.
Yeah, so shout outs to all of them. 24th at 7 p.m. I'll be on stage too by Imba. Entrance fee is 10,000. I was nominated for Female Artist of the Year.
How did I skip that? Oh, about the nomination.
Yeah, I was nominated for Female Artist of the Year.
Yeah.
So I'll be requesting for your votes come 1st October.
Now you notice what I think I sort of like knew what was coming.
It was my role of luck, just like Napoleon Bonaparte.
Software engineer, speaking of history.
But I did history as well.
It's so cool. So cool. We've reached the end of the show.
Oh, it's
this has been the Nuve Live podcast, Hip Hop Uganda Live, from nuvelive.org. Narratively hip hop, sonically poetic, and I've been Sean, your host. You can follow me on Twitter at Nuvation. I don't know how many followers I do have, but anyway, Nuvation. There is no other. If there is an other, that is a fake, and they should find some other. Well, follow us. Follow Nuve Live at Nuve Live. That is NUVEYLIV on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Where else, man? YouTube, Google.
Yeah, YouTube. Shirley May too on YouTube.
Google. Just Google Nuve Live and probably follow your favorite artist. They likely must be sharing one of links there. Have you listened to music again? Price Table. Shout outs to Price Table. Just dropped yesterday.
Shout outs to the mayor.
Yeah, NTM.
That track is sick.
Yeah.
Ekunji yonna liridde chain zange esawa y'ebbeeyi Rolex agiridde musanga mu club ndowooza yoyo yekka bangi tubasanga n'ekizo okuba kyakutuukako muvubuka munnange ekyantuukako n'ekyamutuuka kayinza okutegeera bangi bannaabwe ani amulabye ate okutambula teebaka misana atambula kiro alina eddoboozi ddungi ani amulabyeko naalu na Kampala